Ladies and gentlemen, did you guys know that greenhouse gas emissions are higher in meat production in comparison to transportation? And that's all across the globe, also including public transportation such as buses and trains. Today, my goal is to persuade each of you that action needs to be taken in efforts to put an end to the environmental impacts caused by meat production. Having extensively researched and personally witnessed the environmental consequences, I stand before you as someone dedicated to a sustainable living. The three main points that we're going to discuss today includes the substantial carbon footprint, the undeniable correlation between deforestation and meat production, and then another correlation between meat production and water pollution and water usage. Let's dive into the first point that we're discussing, is carbon footprints caused by meat production. Meat production accounts for nearly 60% of all greenhouse gases emitted into our atmosphere, as I quote from The Guardian, a website online that consists of multiple people that study environmental topics and all have degrees in this field. These emissions are not solely due to natural chemical releases, but due to feces and other contaminants that come from handling meat. The energy-intensive processes involved in meat production further worsen these emissions, leading to higher energy consumption and greater reliance on non-renewable resources. When we compare and contrast the carbon footprints between plant and meat-based diets, it's evident that the toll from meat-based diets is a lot worse. Now moving on to our second point, let's talk about how livestock farming correlates to deforestation. As you can see in this chart here, this is an example of all different types of proteins that cause emissions, and as you can tell at the very top where beef is, you can see this one causes a lot worse compared to the other proteins. The correlation between livestock farming and deforestation is undeniable. Beef production, as I was saying in particular, drives a staggering 80% of Amazon's deforestation, but then at the same time also contributes to 41% of the global deforestation as stated by the Humane League. An extensive clearing of land to feed crops not only causes loss of biodiversity, but also disrupts delicate ecosystems. This affects not only local communities, but global communities due to the ripple effect. And when I say the ripple effect in terms of ecosystems, I mean that all ecosystems that are separate work together in a sense. So if one is being affected and one can't thrive, that can lead to another one that can't thrive, and then another, and then this can lead into a failed environment, and that's not something that we need. Now to confront the significant water usage and water pollution associated with meat production. Meat production places a tremendous strain on all of our water resources that's from water pollution. The runoff and emissions from slaughterhouses heavily pollute water resources. According to a study done by the Environment of America, slaughterhouses are the leading industrial point of nitrogen discharge in waterways, which poses a huge threat to not only our health, but the health of the environment and any other living thing in it. The staggering water requirements for both livestock and crops and other animals this evidently leads to water shortages, causing adverse effects on local communities and ecosystems as a whole. The growing rate of pollution is simply too much for us to ignore or sustain, so we all need to take a step up and we all need to do something about this so that we can make a change. As we address the opposing viewpoint, I use an image here that shows that everyone coming together in unity to make a change. Individual choices, some people believe that they don't really affect this issue and that your one change won't bring a solution or change anything with this problem. However, though, small changes in habits collectively create an impact. If we all come together and if we all are making these choices, then eventually things will change and things will get better. Not only that, but our choices have a great influence to people of power and industries that are broader and have more ability to make decisions, which can shape policies and help us towards sustainable practices. In conclusion, today's aim was to illuminate severe environmental repercussions from meat production. Awareness about this issue is critical, considering the exponential worsening of these problems over time due to our population growing and resources being used and things of that nature. From the carbon footprint to deforestation and water scarcity, the evidence points a dire picture, which is necessary to us to make an immediate and profound change so we can put an end to this crisis. Remember, every meal choice presents an opportunity to protect and preserve our planet. Let's take today for a greener, more sustainable tomorrow, and let's start now making the changes that we can make in order to help save our environment.